Hi, boys and girls. So today for math, we are going over your homework assignment from Tuesday, and then we will start talking about digital time. So your homework assignment on Tuesday was page 593, and I'm going to tell you the answers to that right now. Number 1, you should have gotten 4 o'clock because the big hand or the blue hand is pointing up at the 12, and the little hand or the minute hand is pointing down at the 4. Remember, whenever we're looking at time to the hour on an analog clock, which is this kind of clock, the taller hand or the minute hand would be pointing at the 12. Number 2, you should have gotten 2 o'clock. 3 is 7 o'clock. And 4 is 12 o'clock. That's what you should have gotten on the very first page. And then on the back, go ahead and flip your page. Number 5, you should have gotten 5 o'clock, and 6, 3 o'clock. Number 7 says Mr. Smith's class starts at 9 o'clock and it ends 1 hour later. What time is it over? So we could have solved that in 2 ways. You can look at a clock and see that this is showing 9 o'clock. 1 hour is when the minute hand goes all the way around the circle back up to the 12. And now you can see that it is 10 o'clock. Oh, excuse me. That can also be solved by doing 9 plus 1 because we added 1 hour. And then you can also see there, I'll read it. It says Miguel has soccer practice to 7 o'clock. It lasts for he has soccer practice at 7 o'clock. It lasts for 1 hour. What time is practice over? Same thing. It started at 7. We add 1 hour. It ends at 8. So those are the answers you should have gotten on the back. Okay, so let's flip your page now and let's take a look at page 596. Page 596. So when we are showing time digitally to the hour, it looks different. So right now on this clock, I'm showing, this is an analog clock, I'm showing 10 o'clock. You can see your minute hand at the 12 and your hour hand at the 10. An analog clock uses hands to show hour and minutes, hours and minutes. Another type of clock is a digital clock. It's the kind of clock that you guys are probably used to. It's the type of clock we see on phone screens. So that clock was showing 2:11. It says another type of clock is a digital clock. A digital clock uses numbers to show the hour and minutes. So I have a digital clock right here, or drawn right here. Right here shows us the hour. So the hour right now is 10. The hour on this is 10. And this shows minutes. So when it's something o'clock, no minutes have passed in that hour yet. It's 10 o'clock right now. No minutes have happened yet. So when it's something o'clock, the minutes are always going to say 0. So this shows 10 o'clock. 10 and zeros. There's no other time to show. So let's take a look at page 596. We're going to do it together, and then you guys are going to do the next page on your own. So page 596. Number 1, the analog clock is showing us this time. The analog clock is showing us 11. 11. So the way that, let me grab my eraser really quick. The way that we draw 11 digitally, it's 11 o'clock. So I need to write the number 11 for my hour. And then for my minutes, since it's o'clock and no minutes have passed, it's going to be 0, 0. That's what 11 o'clock looks like. 11, 0, 0. Let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 is showing us this time. That analog clock is showing 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. So, since I know it's 6 o'clock, I can leave my 0, 0, And I just have to replace this with the number 6. You can go ahead and write that on that digital clock underneath number 2. Number 3, oops. Number 3 is showing this time. Both hands are on the 12, which means that that is showing us 12 o'clock. My minutes are going to stay the same. And this is going to become a 12. 12 o'clock. And then number 4 is showing us this time on the analog clock. And then we have to fill in the digital clock. So it's showing us 3 o'clock. My big hand is on the 12. My little hand is on the 3. And so on the digital clock, you can go ahead and fill in 3, 0, 0. So these are the answers that you should have on that page. I want you guys to go ahead and pause the video right here. Pause the video right here. And do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on page 597. And unpause it when you're done. So, hopefully you did that. And then you just unpaused. Number 5 is showing us, you had to look at the analog clock and write in the digital clock. So number 5 is showing us 8 o'clock. So on your digital clock, you should have written 8, 0, 0. 8 o'clock. Number 6 is showing us this time. That's what we see on our analog clock. My little hand is pointing to my 1 and my big hand is pointing to my 12. So my analog clock is showing 1 o'clock. So on the digital clock, you should have filled in 1, 0, 0. Number 7. My big hand is on the 12 and my little hand is on the 5. So I know that this clock is showing 5 o'clock, which means that my digital clock should say 5, 0, 0. Number 8. Big hand is on the 12, little hand is on the 10, so I know this clock is showing 10 o'clock. So number 8, you should have 10, 0, 0. Number 9, you should have 9 o'clock or 9, 0, 0. And 10, you should have 4 o'clock or 4, 0, 0. These are the answers you should have gotten. Go ahead and pause the video there if you need to copy it down. Okay, problem solving. Number 11, we'll do the story problems together and then I will assign your homework. Number 11 says Rachel goes to the cafeteria to eat at 11 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock, at this time, Rachel went to the cafeteria to eat. She was there for 1 hour. What time does Rachel leave the cafeteria? So one way we could do that is we could take our minute hand and go all the way in a circle back up to the 12 and see that both of my hands are now pointing at the 12, which means that Rachel left the cafeteria at 12 o'clock. You can also do that by adding 11 plus 1. 11 plus 1 would get you the same answer because she left. She was there for 1 hour and they wanted to know what time she left. Number 12 asks us, number 12, we have to do the opposite. Number 12 says, Mrs. Webb's class came in from recess at 2 o'clock. They were at recess for 1 hour. What time did they go out? So this is when they came in. We want to know what time they went out. So instead of adding an hour and going clockwise, going forward, I'm going to go back an hour. We want to subtract an hour from this one because we want to know what time they went outside. So what time did they go outside? They went outside at 1 o'clock. So you could have done that with a clock or by subtracting. These are the answers you should have gotten. So this is the page you need to do for homework, front and back. You're going to be doing the same thing, looking at an analog clock and filling in the digital clock. It is on page 599 and page 600. So that shouldn't be too hard. That homework is due by Tuesday because we are doing math on Tuesdays and Thursdays and reading on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you have any questions about that, let me know. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.